Good afternoon, it is Saturday the 7th of June, it is just after midday and I'm just about to set off out, do some Ubering. Yeah, it's throwing it down, it's still not too bad the weather, it's about 12 degrees, but yeah, it's been raining non-stop for the past couple of hours, so hopefully that might improve things a little bit, so I'll yeah, give you a little bit of an update in about an hour or so, let you know how I'm getting on. So, little update, it's just coming up to 10 past 2, so it's been 2 hours. It's been quite busy, to be honest. I've noticed a lot of the jobs I've been doing have been more distance kind of jobs rather than the little tiny ones. So first one was an Ormskirk to Ormskirk. It was like the other side of Ormskirk. £14, 11 pence. It was a 7-minute job and it was going 4 miles. I then took an Ormskirk to Skelmersdale, which was £11.56. That was a 14-minute job and that was going 6.2 miles. I then had, I suppose it was classed as Wigan. It was like the outskirts of Skem going into Wigan. So it was like a Wigan to Wigan basically. An XL surge job, £19.9 pence. That was 11 minutes and that was 4.1 miles. I was then on the way to drop them off and a job popped up at the same location as where I was dropping them off and I was like 6 minutes away. Not 6 minutes, it was about 2 minutes away, and then they cancelled, so they didn't want to wait 2 minutes basically. So straight after that I got another XL, that was a surge job, £7.99, 7-minute job going 1.5 miles. And then I've just dropped a mother and daughter off at a wedding venue. I picked up in Wigan, dropped off in Skem. That's £10.54. That was 11 minutes, going 4.1 miles. So yeah, it hasn't been too bad, to be honest. I'm currently on £63.29, so £31.60 an hour up to now. It's not too bad for a Saturday daytime. That's about it really. Nothing really exciting's happened. It's just been, I've just noticed, and it hasn't really been like really short, like little town jobs, but then it hasn't been like big massive jobs, like from one city to another. They've all just been kind of like nice little, like some of the jobs I've ran to, and it's taken me like 5 or 10 minutes to get there, but then the job was like a 2-minute job and then it's paid like 10, 11 quid or something. So I don't mind doing that because by the time the passengers get in, they haven't even put the seatbelts on and they're having to get out again, so it's yeah, it's quite cushy. So yeah, I'll log back on now. It's a couple of little surge bubbles starting to pop up now around where I am, which is kind of, I'm slap bang in the middle of Wigan and Skelmersdale. So yeah, I will update you shortly. So it's just after 10 past 3, it's been another hour. After I'd finished waffling before, I took probably one of the shortest priorities I've done. So it was just round the corner from where I was. It was an Uber X priority and a surge, £8.92. It was a 2-minute job going 0.4 of a mile. I literally drove round the corner, picked the guy up, and then I started the trip. Like I said, it was 0.4 of a mile away. I was like, why didn't he just walk? Like, it wasn't throwing it down, or so I thought, he must have put in the wrong destination. It's one of them where as you pull up, he goes, oh bloody hell, I've put the wrong one in. And yeah, we just pulled up there. She says, yeah, I'm just going to meet the missus in the pub. She's been out for an all-day brunch, and now we're off to watch the football. And that was it. And I was like, I mean, I've been paid nearly 9 quid, so imagine what he's paid in the surge for a priority as well. I don't know. So yeah, I've done that. I was still on the outskirts of Wigan at that point, so that was a Wigan to Wigan. I then started heading back towards Ormskirk because I've been roped into giving the missus and her friend a lift because they're going out. So I knew I had to be back here for just before 4 o'clock. So the next job that came up was it was like the outskirts of Ormskirk going to the train station in Ormskirk, which is like the centre. So I drove down on that. That was £7.30. It was a 5-minute job going 1.3 miles. And then I picked up a lady just round the corner from there, which gave me a £2 tip as well. She gets in and we were going to Bersco, and I think it was, what was it, like £7, 4p or something. So we just pulled off, and she was actually talking about the electric doors, because she was like, oh, sometimes I go to touch them and the driver goes mad because it's electric. And I was thinking, yeah, I know his feeling. That's why I always stop short of the customer and press the button so the door's opening. It works 9 times out of 10. Sometimes even when the door is physically moving in front of them, they grab it and try pushing it open. You know, there's no cure for stupidity, as they say. So like I said, yeah, I picked her up, we set off, we were heading down towards Bersco. She was going to the train station there because she's going to Manchester to meet a friend. And then she goes, oh no, she said, I don't think we're going to make it. She said the train gets in at 27 minutes past or something. And it says we're going to get there at 28 minutes past, so we're going to be a minute late. So I was like, I'm sure we'll be okay. Because just before you get to the train station, there's a bit of a straight run, which is like a 60-mile-an-hour road. I said, so I reckon you'll just get there. She goes, am I okay to change my destination? So I was like, yeah. I said, well, where to? She was like, Wigan train station. And I was like, I said, you're having a laugh, aren't you? So like, I felt bad because obviously she's going out. I said, like, I said, I'm just kind of milling around Ormskirk, because I said in about 30 minutes I was supposed to be picking the missus up and her friend. I was like, yeah, go on then. I said, I reckon I'll be able to get there and back in time, which I knew I wouldn't. So she changes it to Wigan train station, which was like over half an hour away. And then it was so crap, the price, because bearing in mind the original price was £7, just to Bersco, which was 2, maybe 3 miles max. So she changed it to Wigan train station, which is over half an hour away, and then only changed the price to £18. You know, so it was only just over double the price, but it was like 10 times the distance. It was ridiculous. So then she looks at that for like 5 seconds and she was like, oh no, we're still not going to make it there either. And I said, are you trying to get me to race the train? And she started laughing. She was like, oh yeah, I thought if the train pulls off, if we go to Wigan, we can like cut it off. And I was like, I'm not going to outpace a train. So she was like, oh, I'll change it back to Bersco then. I said, yeah, I think that's for the best. Fucking hell, can Uber train here. So she changes it back to Bersco, and then we shot down there. We pulled up at exactly 17 minutes past, and then she ran down. So she's given me a £2 tip as well, which took the trip to £10, 4p for a 10-minute job, which was 3.7 miles. So yeah, I'm assuming she's made the train. Yeah, so I've just come offline now, because like I said, I'm going to get roped in a minute now. I need to go and pick the first person up in 5 minutes. So I'm currently on 89.55, and I've done 3 hours. So the hourly rate has come down a little bit. I think I was on £30 and 50p or something. I'm now on £29 and 85p. So it hasn't come down much, but I think some of that is because I was out in the sticks and I thought I'm kind of heading back to Ormskirk because I had to be back here. So I've set the destination for here. You know, and then I've had like a good 10 or 15 minutes of just driving with like no jobs. What is a bit of a pain is when I was in Bersco then, because I've been milling around here for a minute, a couple of jobs were popping up between like £15 and £20 going from Bersco to Southport, which is like a half an hour job, especially like that £20 one, because you know, I could have done that and potentially another £15 or £20 job and been on, you know, 30, anywhere between like £30 and £40 for that hour, but I couldn't do it because I wouldn't get there in time and get back here in time. So yeah, that's about it. So not too bad. I'll go and sort these out. I might be back online in about an hour, no idea. So I'll catch up with you then. So a little update, I'm just down near Maghull charging up. I haven't been down to this one for a while, to be honest. It's the one that I started using quite a lot when I first started doing Uber and stuff last year. So I dropped off, I was near Skem, dropped the missus off and a mate and that, and I had to jump on a rapid charger, and the one that I had up there I think was the same brand as the one that I used yesterday in Crosby. It was like EV Point or something, but basically I think it was like 87p a kilowatt or something. It was just ridiculous. So I thought, well, I'll come back down to this one that I used to use, which I'm sure was EV point, I can't even remember what it was, EV something, because it was like 56 pence or something like that. So I drove down here, and where all the charging bays were, or all the chargers, they've all been ripped out, and basically Tesla ones have been put in. So I thought, so basically, if I spin the camera around so you can see, so they've got these like generic ones in, and it's classed as EV on the move. So basically the chargers are Tesla, the technology is Tesla, it says Tesla on the screen. There's even a little sign up saying user information, Tesla plug and charge, Tesla app. So basically, like, I'm charging up now and I'm using the Tesla app. However, it doesn't give you any sort of discounted rate. So if I was to sign up to Tesla, which I think is £8.99 a month, you then basically get slightly cheaper rates at some of the Tesla chargers, but I don't know if they're like the branded Tesla charging points. Whereas this one, if you're a non-member, it's 65 pence a kilowatt, and if you are a member with Tesla, it's still 65 pence a kilowatt. So it didn't make any difference. I mean, it's 20 pence a kilowatt cheaper than where it was in Skem, which was like, I think it was like a 7-minute drive for me to get here, but I'd rather do that than pay, 87 pence a kilowatt. So anyway, this EV on the move, there's like another little sign up saying, it's DKV. I don't know if that's like a different app. All-Star, Polestar Charge, is it Jules, T-Mobility Car. So it's what I've said for a while, which is you'll go to a lot of these different charging points, and I must have 30 different apps on my phone. I've got a separate folder for it, and one's BP, one's for Tesla, one's for this garage, one's for that garage, and it's basically it's just a bit harder if you're like planning your route. Like, it's not as bad to me because I tend to stay in the one kind of area, so I know where the rapid chargers are. But if I'm driving down to London or Edinburgh or something now, I have to pre-plan it. I have to go on and look at what chargers are along the route, what brand it is, do I have that app downloaded and installed, is my card added to the account so I can use it, and it's a bit of a faff, to be honest. Whereas this one, it seems to be, it's like Tesla equipment, which obviously this EV on the move has purchased, but it's open to like multiple apps. So yeah, that's about it. It's not too bad. Like I said, it was a hell of a lot cheaper than the other one, and I've been here for almost an hour. So I drove down. Like I said, it's when you're first charging up, you're getting like 88 kilowatts or something. So it's charging up like quick, and it does that all the way until it gets to about 90%, and then it drops down to like 20 something kilowatts, and now I'm on 96%, so it's dropped all the way down to 4 kilowatts, which is like painfully slow. Like, my charger at home gives me 7 kilowatts. So yeah, if I was to stay here now for the last 3%, I could be sat here for like another 15-20 minutes, and that's where you lose time. So it's basically, it's okay if you're staying on charge up until about 90%, because you are getting like the full rapid speed. After that, yeah, you're just wasting your time. But yeah, so I'm going to go back on now. Like I said, it's just coming up to 6 o'clock. I was off longer than I thought, because like I said, by the time I picked them up, then I went home, they started having a cab and having a drink, and then I dropped them off and all the rest of it. And like I said, I've come down here to go on charge and I've had something to eat myself. But that was about it. Yeah, when I used to come here in the past, when it was that other company, it was always empty. And I come here before there was a Jag on charge, and then I pulled up. Some Tesla guy turned up, he backed in. He seemed like annoyed, like other cars were there, even though these aren't Tesla chargers, as in Tesla branded. This isn't like a Tesla forecourt, so to speak. But he's kind of looking around, like, look at these cars here. And then another non-Tesla pulled up between them, so all 4 bays were all taken. It's the first time I've seen it at this one. So yeah, that's about it. I'm on 97% now. It's currently cost me £21.72, and that's given me 33.5 kilowatts. I'll try and do a little bit of a breakdown on that now. So if that's 21.73 divided by 33.43, so it's, yeah, 65 pence a kilowatt. that's given me 33. And I think what am I getting? I can't see the thing. I think I was getting about 3 miles per kilowatt. It was 33 times 3. Yes, that's given me about 99 miles, I think, roughly. So that's £21.73 divided by 99. It's cost me at this charger roughly 21 pence a kilowatt. Sorry, 21 pence a mile. Yeah, which is obviously expensive. If you put that into comparison, it's some of the bigger, you know, like V-class diesels, depending on the year you've got it and the age, you know, whatnot, they run anywhere between, like, I think it was like 15 up to like 20 pence. So as it stands now, this particular charge that I've put in is obviously more expensive. You know, you charge up at home and it's 2 pence a mile, so massive difference, but it is what it is. You know, even if I see, like, I've got a smaller battery, it's like 45 kilowatts, and if you know, you might get roughly 150 miles out of a tank. If I had a larger battery like I do on my Audi, which is 100 kilowatt, the thing is I couldn't fully charge all that up in one night at the low rate of 2 pence a mile, because you only get cheap energy from 11:30 till 5:30, so you only get 6 hours, and to fully charge my Audi from flat is about 11 hours. So basically half of that charge I would get for 2 pence a mile, and then the other half of the charge goes up to the full rate, which is like 24 pence a kilowatt. Still, it's obviously a hell of a lot cheaper than rapid chargers. But yeah, because, you know, there's some people who have mentioned in the past saying, like, you know, you need a 100 kilowatt battery at least, and I'm like, well, I've made it work for like almost 12 months doing Uber and doing all sorts of airport runs and everything, so it can be done. It's just try and avoid the rapid chargers when you can. But you know, when I come out and I'm doing Friday, Saturday night and I'm on £30 an hour, I don't mind charging up once throughout the night. You know, granted it costs like 20 quid, but it's less than an hour of me shift, and if I come out and do 12 hours, for example, I've lost 1 hour to a charge. It's not too bad, because then I've still done the other 11 hours at £30 an hour. Would I want to do that every day? No, I wouldn't. I mean, if you were on £30 an hour Monday to Thursday, then yeah, it wouldn't be too bad, but you're not, so yeah, it would be a bit of a pain. So yeah, that was it. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update as to what these little charges are down here. So yeah, I'm going to go back on now, and no doubt I'll be on for about an hour, and then the missus will phone because she'll be bored, and they'll want picking up again, so that'll be like another hour lost. So I'll give you an update in a bit. So it's just after 9 o'clock. It's been 3 hours. Yeah, came off charge, 6, carried on. So I was in Maghull at the time. I then got a job. Loads of jobs were popping up, and they were all miles away, and I was heading towards Ormskirk. And then a job popped up in Southport, which was a good like 10-15 minute drive, probably a 15-minute drive at least. So I got to the point where I thought, I'm just going to accept the job just so they cancelled, because it's doing me head in. Like, they were offering me jobs in Wigan for like a fiver, in Liverpool city centre, and I'm sure the GPS on the app is broke or something. So I accepted it, and then the person in Southport didn't cancel. So I drove to Southport for a £12.57. It was a 7-minute job going 2 miles, but I probably drove about 15 minutes to it at least, so it was a 20-minute job. Still not too bad, £12.57 for 20 minutes like, but I was thinking, surely that's going to pop up on the customer thinking, you know, it's like 15-16 minutes for them to get there, it's raining, why wouldn't you just cancel it and rebook something else? But they've just sat there and waited, and I was taking them to the train station as well. So I don't know. So then I was in Southport anyway. Then I've done a little £5.78. That was a little 4-minute job, 1.4 miles. A small surge job, £6.88. A 5-minute job going 1.3 miles. And then a 5.14. That was a 3-minute job going 0.8 of a mile. 5:57, that was a 7-minute job going 2.3 miles. A 5:53, that was a 9-minute job going 2.5 miles. At first I was ignoring these jobs because they kept popping up like £5-6 and it was saying they were all going to take about 10 minutes, which included the time me driving to the customer and then dropping them off. And I thought, do you know what, if you're getting like £5 or £6 every 10 minutes, it's going to work out at roughly £30 an hour. So I thought, you know what, I'll start accepting them because I was sick of seeing them. So yeah, I started doing them. A 5:53, that was a 9-minute job going 2.5 miles. I dropped them off, and then I think this was the one when I was in Birkdale. It said like the customer was right there, and it was £3.85 going 1 mile. So I thought, okay, I'll take that. Accepted it, and then she messaged saying, I'll be there in 3 minutes. So basically she was getting off the train that was just about to pull in. So I only had to wait about 2 minutes. It wasn't as bad, but still a bit of a pain. Dropped them off, and then at the same pickup point, because I was on Lord Street then, a 3:73 for a 4-minute job, 1.3 miles. A £5 job, that was a 4-minute job going 1.6 miles. A 5:86, 5-minute job going 1.8 miles. An XL, £6.53. That was a 3-minute job going 1 mile. That led on to a £3.73, which was a 3-minute job going just over a mile, which then took me into Birkdale, and then a job popped up for £30. Said Liverpool, but then I knew it's not going to be the city centre because city centre is basically an hour, and half an hour Liverpool is kind of like Crosby kind of way. So I accepted that. Basically done a U-turn in the street, and then I had to sit there for about 5 or 6 minutes while they came out of this bar, because it was an XL, there was 5 of them. So the first 3 women got in and the bloke, and they were like, oh, it's freezing, shut the door to him. So he's trying to shut the door, and they're like, oh, we're just waiting for one more, and then he had to get back out and go back in to get him. Oh, honestly, they were like clowns. They were like clowns, but they thought they were dead posh because they lived in Blundell Sands. So the other guy comes back out, he gets him, so then we pull off. Bearing in mind, half an hour, it was like £31 or something. And then we've been driving like 2 minutes, and then she goes, oh yeah, we need to add them other stops on, don't we, girls? Yes, you're going to L such and such, and you're going to L such and such. And I'm thinking, I was waiting for it to pop up to say like, or be like the city centre, and I would have just said, there's fucking no chance I'm going to the city centre. So basically they put the other postcodes in, and they all live within like a 5-minute radius of each other, so it wasn't too bad. So that pushed the job up to £47.26 for a 33-minute job, which was 16 miles. So yeah, it was a good rate of a job. They were just a bit of a pain to deal with, to be honest. And then yeah, so like I said, it was alright. I would have done it for the half an hour, but it's just a pain, and I think it's a bit rude when people get in and just start adding jobs on. I've had it in the past where people have added a job on before I've got there to pick them up, and then basically I've asked them where it was going, and it was going miles away, so I've just refused to do the job and said, like, you can either go to the original destination or cancel the job. I had another one where they'd got in and the job was kind of like local. It was like a £9 job, and it was like going to take like 4 minutes. I was in Ormskirk, and then the price jumped up to like £14, and then the job said it was going to take like 25 minutes or something. I said, where have you added on there? She was like, oh, after here we're going to go to Skem. I said, I'm not going to Skem. So then yeah, she had to cancel that. She had to get out and go and order another Uber. I took a mate who was just going round the corner, but I'm not going there. And that's what a lot of them do. They'll book the job, they'll get in, and then start adding jobs, because they know if it comes up like £40 Liverpool, multiple stops, a lot of drivers, including myself, just think, I can't be arsed doing that. It's, you know, you feel like a bus kind of thing. But yeah, that job didn't turn out too bad, to be honest. So yeah, I've just dropped off down there, basically just at the end of the 57 now. Well, I'm at Switch Island basically. So yeah, I wasn't sure kind of where to head to, so I've done 3 hours. In that 3 hours I've used exactly half a tank, so I've used more than what I normally would, That's because I've had that big run of like 16 miles, which the majority of was like bypass all the way down to Liverpool there to drop them off. So technically I've got half a tank, which should be about another 3 hours at least, which would take me to about midnight. So what am I on? I'm currently on 207 and 1 pence, and I've done 6 hours. So the hourly rating's gone back up again. It's now on £34.50 an hour. So yeah, not too bad. I was contemplating just in front of me up here, which I didn't realise, there is a there's an Instavolt charger. So it comes up here, an XL job, £8.49. Do you want me to go 21 minutes or 14 miles all the way to St Helens to do another 2.3 miles or 7? So it's like a half an hour job all the way to St Helens. I'll do that one, it's not too bad. So this one's just picking up just there and they're going to Skem if it comes through. Like the way you ask for a job, it's still thinking about it now, but now it's still trying to get me to go to St Helens to do an XL job to take them to Wigan. £8.50, 16 miles, and it's half an hour. Yeah, so I don't think that job would have come through. Seems to be quite a few opportunities. They're all like £11-12 jobs. Not for me. I think the majority of which all seem to be like Liverpool city centre, Walton Breck. XL job, 8.69, 4 miles away in Seaforth, going to Waterloo. So it's like a 15-minute job, about 5 miles. Can't really be after that. Should have stayed offline whilst I was looking at them opportunity. I hate the way you ignore a job, which means you don't want to do it, and then it comes back up again. Are you sure you still don't want to go down to Seaforth? It's like, what? Why are you asking me twice? So you have to log off just to check the opportunities, because it won't leave you alone for fucking 5 seconds just to have a look. Walton Breck, what's happening down Walton Breck Road? So like footy match or something? I don't do footy or anything, you see, so there's a chance there's like football going on and I wouldn't have a clue. Walton Lane, possibly because there's like loads of them all come up and they're all asking to be picked up at 10 to 11, 5 to 11, 5 to 11, 5 to 11, 5 to 11, and the majority of them are all going into town, like L1, L3. There's one there, where's that? That's £31. Oh no. That's 11 o'clock. That is kind of Liverpool. Oh no, that's near Anfield Stadium. Yes, I'm taking the footy's been on, all the roads are shut. Near Anfield, and it's going over to Birkenhead ways. £31.39. Oh, it's an Uber Pet as well. That's a definite no for me. I mean, I wouldn't do it anyway because I'm not going over the water. But it's a half an hour job going 18 miles. So not too bad. £31 for half an hour. But obviously if you're going down to Anfield, I'd imagine it's going to be absolutely rammed. Plus you've got a ship machine jumping around in the back of your car. So yeah, not for me. So yeah, the only time I would do a reservation is if it's like half decent. So there's like loads of reservations coming up now, obviously all coming out of like the football and everything, like a £25 one there. But yeah, I only do them if they're like 30-40 quid, because Uber makes you get there and sit there for 10 or 15 minutes. I've had one where they've sent me there 20 minutes before the job, and you just sat there and you look like a bit of a nonce sat outside somebody's house, and they're like looking out the window thinking, why has he arrived 20 minutes early? And you're just sitting there, and then once you've sat there for that 15 to 20 minutes, then the 10-minute timer starts. So you can sit there for up to half an hour, which obviously they don't factor into the price. So what you think is a good job, because it's like 20 quid, it's going to take you, say, 15 minutes. You think, oh yeah, that's a good rate. But it's not. You need to incorporate the other 15 to 20 minutes. So then you're there for like well over half an hour, and then you're thinking, do you know what, this was actually a bit of a crap job. So yeah, basically I don't do reservations unless they're 30, 40, 50 quid, thereabouts. I wouldn't do any of it. Obviously all these are all popping up because I'm by Switch Island, so it's giving me loads of reservations opportunities in Liverpool. So yeah, what was I saying? I was thinking about jumping on this charger for a minute. The missus, like I said before, she's out. I've got no idea what time she wants picking up. She's one of them where it's like, where are you now? I'm like, I've told her I could be anywhere, so you've got to give me a bit of notice. But she's one of them that she'll text and go, oh yeah, like I'm ready now if you are, and I'll be like, well, I'm like an hour away because I'm at such a place. And then I don't want to drive like an hour empty all the way back to where they are. So I'm trying to head back towards, like the Ormskirk kind of area. But then at the same time, I'm thinking, at the minute, if I'm on like £35 an hour, do we just go and jump on this charger, even if it's just for 10 minutes? Because that'll probably give me like another quarter of a tank. Which gives me like another hour and a half of driving if I want to do. So I don't know, not sure what to do. Dying for the way as well. So I'll have to sort that out before I wet myself. I needed to go before, and that £30 job popped up, and I thought, can't knock that back for a quick half an hour. Thought I'll smash that half an hour off and then I'll go for a wee. And then it turned into that £45 job or whatever it was, because it turned into a multi-drop. So yeah, up to now, it's going all right. So I'll see what happens. I don't even know any like drive hours or whatever I'm up to. I'm only on 5.5, 21 trips. What's the stats? I haven't looked at them for a while. Still 4.99. My stats haven't changed, my driver rating, for months. It's still got 497 5-stars, it's got 2 4-stars, and it's got 1 2-star. And honestly, it's been like that since, I think, about Christmas. It just hasn't changed. I know it's based on your last 500 ratings, but it's as though like people are getting out and then just not bothering to rate. So it's yeah, that hasn't moved. Confirmation rate, I think I started on about 32% this morning. That's down to 18, and the cancellation rate is on 1%. That's about it. So I will stop boring you, and I'll update you in a bit. So it's just after 11 o'clock. I've just called past the rapid charger once again, the Tesla one. So yeah, I was at the end of the motorway by Switch Island there. I got an XL job, which was Maghull to Waterloo, £13.59. It was a 12-minute job going 4.1 miles. Straight after that, I got another XL job, £11.21. It was an 8-minute job going 2.9 miles. I was then kind of like brutal sort of way, so I thought again, which kind of way do I start heading back towards Ormskirk or Southport or whatever. And then a job came up, an XL. It was in Formby going to Ormskirk. So it was about a 10-minute drive from where I was to get to Formby, and then it was a 22-minute drive over to Ormskirk, but it was paying £23.99. So yeah, not too bad for half an hour. Yeah, we got there and there was a group of 6, and like 4 of them got in the back, and then he was like, oh, where is he? And then this other lad come out the pub, and he started like lighting up a ciggy, and his mate's going mad. He's like, what's he doing? Just fucking leave him and all this. So he went down, he shouts him and all the rest. So they all start getting in, they're all in the back, and they like shut the door. And then this other lad, he must have been on ket or something, don't know what he was on. So he comes down, he stands next to the car, and they're saying to him, put your bifter out and get in. And he's going, yeah, just tell the driver I'll just be 2 minutes. So they're like saying to me, oh, just shut the door and leave him, mate. So I shut the door over, and I was like, what does he want me to do? And the lads are saying, yeah, just get off, just leave him. And I'm like, are you sure? I said, like, it doesn't bother me. I said, because I'm still getting paid. I said, but it's your mate. And they're like, yeah, just leave him. He said, like, he's not getting in. He's being a clown. He's doing all our heads in. So I just pull off. And the guy's just standing there with a ciggy looking at me like, what's going on? So I get as far as like the exit of the car park, because I'm in the pub car park. And then 2 of the girls went, oh, no, stop. We can't. That's our last. We can't leave him there. So then we sat there for like 20 seconds, and then the guy come over and he opened the door. He went, "Oh, I thought you were getting off and leave me then, lad." I was like, "I was going to." I said, "It was only for them telling me to stop." I said, "Otherwise I would have just left you with your bifter in the car park." So he got in. He wouldn't surprise me if he was getting some baton rash in Ormskirk in about half an hour. Honestly, he's an absolute loose cannon, that guy. The others were sound. He was off his tits. So yeah, that was £23.99. I heard her saying to them, "Oh, you best be coming out and getting in, because otherwise it was pointlessly paying extra for this XL for everyone to fit in." She said it's cost me 40 quid. So she's paid 40, I've basically got 24 quid for it. On my way into Ormskirk, I was still quite a distance out, and there was a surge job that came up in Ormskirk, £13.41. It was saying it was like an 8-minute job, but it was only going 1.8 miles, basically going to like Orton, which is like a stone throw. I thought that's a really good rate. You know, normally weekday you'd be lucky if you got £4.50 for that. Friday, Saturday night you normally get like £8-9 for that. Kind of non-surge, just like if it's busy. So yeah, £13.41 was good. So we got in, two fellas and the wives, and we pull off, and I heard one of them say, "Oh yeah, we're going to such and such," and his mate goes, "Yeah, he knows where we're going. It's Uber." He said, "I hope he knows where he's going anyway. He's charged me 25 quid for this." He said, "We're only going to Orton." And then his wife was going, she was like, "Yeah, you have to pay the extra because of what time of night it is." And I'm thinking, I couldn't remember what I had accepted because it was like 20 minutes before that. So yeah, again, I got £13.41. The customer was charged 25 quid. So we was taking almost 50% of that one as well. So yeah, it's kind of like the fares are good, but the fares are almost double, and Uber's taking an absolute shitload of commission. It's as though like they are actually charging the customers the surge, and I've heard all the customers saying like, "Oh, the prices are like really high," which I've never heard before. It's always been the opposite. The customers have always been saying, "Okay, I'm not being funny, mate, but you know, why are you doing this? You know, I've only paid like £4 for this trip or something." Whereas now they're all saying, I can't believe how expensive this is. I think Uber needs to find like a middle ground there, because like all that's going to happen is people just start going back to the locals if they feel like they're getting rinsed. But then at the same time, it's like, you know, it's like that job there. They've charged 25 quid, give me 13. They've taken nearly 50% commission. Did they have to take that much? You know, I was happy with the £13.40, so you know, why couldn't Uber have just charged them like 20 quid? It still would have been expensive, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, in that last bit when I was online, because I took a screenshot, I think it was saying I was only online from 9:30 until 11, so it was an hour and a half. I think that's because I dropped them other ones off at like 10 past, and then obviously I'd done my updates, I've been waffling, and then I got online again. So I always lose time when obviously I'm waffling doing updates. It's not as bad now because I'm on charge. So in that hour and a half I got £62.20. I was offered 21 jobs that I'd done 4. Yeah, so total up to now, where are we? I'm currently on just shy of 270, and I've done 8 hours. So I think the hourly, has it gone up a little bit? Can't remember now. It's about £33.70 an hour. So yeah, still good. Basically I've jumped on charge for 2 reasons. One, because it's really good. It's still surging in quite a few places now. We'll just check these opportunities in case there's anything half decent. Who's going to accept this? £midnight, an £8 job. midnight, £8 job. £8 job. Like, who's accepting these? who's the clown who's accepting them, please? You know, bearing in mind that, you know, you need to be online by midnight. The jobs are midnight. You're getting 8 quid. Granted, you're not going too far. It's 7 minutes for 2 miles. You know, so you're on either £4 a mile or you're on £1 a minute. But you have to bear in mind that Uber's going to send you there a good 10 or 15 minutes before this little poxy £8 job, which then turns that job into a you know, a good 20-minute job. So then basically all of the profit is then gone out of it. So yeah, I don't know who's doing them. But yeah, I wanted to go on charge. Just a quick one. I've come down to obviously this Tesla one again. Just put that heater back on, started to go a little bit chilly. Yeah, I was getting, it was pulling 100 kilowatts then, which is the most I've ever seen. Granted, that's because I had the heater on as well. So without the heater, it was pulling about 90. I put the heating on, it then pulls about 100. So yeah, when you have the heater on in this, it pulls about 10 kilowatts, which is, I find, really extreme, to be honest, if you think about it. So yeah, I'm not going to stay here for ages. Like I said, I had about, I think it was like less than 20 miles left. So I thought I'd get a little top up and I can shoot back to Ormskirk because it's only 5 or 6 minutes away, and I can just carry on bouncing around there until the missus is ready. So we got in here and I think I had about, I think it was on like 11% charge or something. I'm back up to 54% already because it's going so fast. So it's put nearly 17 kilowatts back in. So I'm well over half a tank now. So yeah, I'm just going to nip over to the Shell garage, get a chocolate bar. I just need like a little bit of sugar. The only stuff I've got in my fridge here is the me fuel bars, you know, all full of vitamins and everything, but there's like no sugar or anything in it, so it's all good for you. But when it's like 11:30 at night and you need a little bit of a sugar kick, you need something. So yeah, I'll go and get that, and then I'll come off charge and carry on, because I don't want a full charge, because I'm not going to be staying out for another you know, 4 or 5 hours. Like what time was that last charge? Stop. What was it? Carry on. Oh, so the last charge was at 6 o'clock, wasn't it? Well, I carried on at 6. So I've got 5 hours out of that, which isn't too bad. I've done a fair bit of distance. So yeah, I don't want another full charge, because if I leave here, I'm not going to be working until 4:30 in the morning. I know I've done that in the past, but yeah, I tend not to do that anymore, because I'd rather come out on the Saturday, because it's still kind of busy from like midday onwards, and I'd rather get like me 12 hours in, 12 till 12. I don't mind a little bit longer, but I used to come out later, and I'd start at like 5, 6 o'clock, and then I'd be out till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But then you're getting all of the idiots, you know, as they're all emptying out, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. And then I started coming out earlier and earlier. Like I said, I was coming out about 6 o'clock, and then I was coming out at 5, and then 4, and then 3. And I've basically realised it works well for me coming out at about midday, sometimes even 11, to get my hours in on a Saturday. And as I've shown, you're still getting like your £34 an hour. So yeah, that's about it. I'll give you another update in a bit. It'll probably be when I finish and get home. I'll see what happens, because I'm hoping it's still going to be a bit busy here. I've got no idea what time the wife one's picking up, and then if it's still busy, I don't mind dropping her off and then doing like another hour or so, but who knows. I'll have a quick little look to see what sort of hours I'm on now. I'm coming up to 7 hours drive, so again, still got plenty of drive left. While it's surging so much, I like it when I get past the 300 mark, but I think the most I've ever done was about 360, 370, I think. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to beat that tonight, because it's because of what time it is. It's 11:30. So yeah, I'll catch you in a bit. Yeah, choking on my bounty. Made me laugh then. I've just walked over to the to the Shell petrol station. You have this like Maghull services. It's a service station, and I walked over to the automatic doors and they were shut. Thinking, what the hell's going on here? And then I walked over to the window and he pushes that little tray open. I haven't lived in Liverpool for that many years now. You know, I've lived out in like the sticks and Ormskirk and stuff like that, where you can walk into the petrol stations 24 hours, you know, because they trust you. And I forgot that basically you can't do that in Liverpool. It's basically they have to serve you through the little tiny I don't trust you little flap. It was kind of funny, yeah. He's holding the card terminal up against the glass for you to pay with your phone and everything. I haven't done that for years, I'm not going to lie, so it was kind of brought me back to being back in Liverpool again. So yeah, thought I'd give you that little pointless story, but it made me chuckle anyway. And it is absolutely freezing. It says it's 11 degrees. I've only walked over to the petrol station, which is like 50 metres away, and I'm shivering when I got back. So yeah, I'm now on 3/4 of a tank, so I'm really going to have to come off charge, because basically just wasting my money here now. There we are. So I'm on 72%. It's put 25 kilowatts in. So bearing in mind this is a 45 kilowatt battery, so I've done over half a battery in 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to come off charge now, and I will I'll carry on. So I'll catch you in a bit. So final update, it is just coming up to about 2 o'clock. I haven't been out this late. Like I said, I was picking the missus up and the friends and that, and dropping them off. So I was on charge, wasn't I? And then I came off, which was 20 to midnight. I then just get the jobs up. 20 to midnight. After about 10 minutes, I took a job, which was skem to skem. So I was, like I said, I was trying to hang around the Ormskirk area to pick the missus up. So I was obviously missing out on other jobs, but it seemed to be like quite a few of the skem jobs were paying not too bad. So it was like this one, including a £2 tip, £11.39. It was a 3-minute job going 0.9 of a mile. So that was a surge job, that was okay. I then had an Ormskirk back to Skelmersdale. That was £12.52. That was a 9-minute job going 4.8 miles. I was then on my way back to Ormskirk for another Skelmersdale, and then I wasn't far from Ormskirk, and then they cancelled, so I got £3.25. But then as soon as they cancelled, somebody else booked an Ormskirk to Skem for £9.24, 13 minutes going just over 5 miles. So the job before that cancelled. I think it was like £14 to Skem. So basically the £3.25 that I got for that job added on to the job after that, which was like £9.21. It kind of worked out the same, so it was like I still got the job anyway. So yeah, and then I stopped because the missus had said she was ready to be picked up, so I dropped them off, and that was about 1:45. Came offline, and then basically I've spent about an hour going to pick my missus up, drop her off for friends and whatnot, and then I got back into Ormskirk for around 1:45, so it was almost bang on an hour. I logged back on just to see what was happening. I seen people moving about, I seen all, private eyes flying past me and everything. Some of the jobs that were just coming through were just absolutely ridiculous. Like there was an XL job come up and wanted me to drive 20 minutes or 10 miles to Wigan to do a 10-minute job, or 3.7 miles. So basically, with it being an XL and your waiting time, you're looking at least 35 minutes for a 15-mile job. Bearing in mind, at that point it's like 1:45 in the morning, so obviously you should be getting paid a premium for it. £11.49. It's like there's not a chance. Like I was running to Skelmersdale for that price. So it's just I'm sure I took more pictures earlier on. What's this other one that I took? I don't know if I mentioned that one before. I think, yeah, that's when they wanted me to run all the way to Southport for £5.90, even though I was nearly 12 miles away. But yeah, basically lots of little jobs like that were coming off. Like I got offered £10 Ormskirk to Southport. what, 1:45 in the morning? Like, who's stupid enough to do that? I mean, it's risky enough doing them kind of jobs anyway, because that's when people tend to like throw up and stuff, and that's why a lot of the time I don't like working that late. And if you do, I tend to stick to the shorter trips just in case someone is sick. But like I said, I'm certainly not running all that way for a tenner. I mean, even during the day, you get between 10 and 15. When it's surging, you should be getting like 20, 25 for that kind of run. So yeah, loads of jobs were like that, or they were trying to get me to run all the way to Wigan and stuff like that. So I just thought it's pointless staying out. You're just going to drag your hourly rating down, and the type of people you're dealing with are everyone who's just absolutely rat-arsed because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't be bothered with it, so we just come home. So yeah, I only done that 1 hour basically. But yeah, that last hour I suppose wasn't too bad. Bit of a rough count up. It's like 10, 23, 24, 27, 29, 36, about £37 for that last hour that I'd done. So it wasn't too bad. So in total anyway, I finished on 305 and 58 pence, and I've done 9 hours, so that works out at just shy of £34 an hour, so it's not too bad. So I've been out longer than that, but obviously I've been stopping and starting throughout the day. Obviously I've had time off to take the missus out, I've had time off later on to pick her up. I have charged up twice as well. So yeah, but actual like logged on time on Uber has been 9 hours. So yeah, that's what they've given me. So just goes to show, if you sit there and you do pick your jobs carefully, it is there on a Saturday. Driving time is 7 hours 40, and I've done 28 trips. Driving rating, that's still 4.99. that hasn't changed. I don't know when that will ever change. Confirmation rating is 17. I think it was about 18 before, but like I said, when I started it was much higher. And the cancellation rate has gone back to 0 now, so that's refreshed again. And yeah, all in all, that's about it. Not too bad of a shift, to be honest. Yeah, not really much more I can add to it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Any questions or comments or anything, feel free to pop them in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. So thanks for watching.